Grade 6s, before you can start with activity 3, you need to understand how these types of tables work. These can also be referred to as logs or grids, and those of you who might play tennis or any team sport in a tournament will know that these are usually how they write down the team's scores, because at the end of the tournament they want to know who will be the overall winner. So it's a round robin based type of log, and everybody needs to play everybody. But remember, if we have, for instance, these 3 teams, A, B, and C, how many matches will each team play? 3? No. Remember, a team cannot play against themselves. So each team will only play 2 matches. Now here's where the table gets interesting, because if you look at the table and you look at the row, you will see there are 3 open spaces. So we've just said that they can't play 3 matches. So we need to remove the blocks where it shows that they are actually playing against themselves. We use the row. You cannot play, A cannot play against A, B cannot play against B, and C cannot play against C. You go from the left and from the top down. So if we have C meeting A, you would write the score here. If you have C and A, you will write the score there. Remember, because the one team will win and the other team will lose. But if you look at team A here and team A here, if they cross, you make a cross. You cannot play against each other. Same with B. Here's B and B. If you go together, you have a cross. Same with C. If you meet each other, you have a cross. In the textbook, you will see those blocks are shaded. There's no totals because you cannot amount the distance from the town to exactly the same town. So let's do an hypothetical log. We will, for instance, say team A plays team B. The winner will be team B. So when A played against B, they lost, they get no points. So A meets B, no points. But then we must give the points to B. So where will we write B's points? We will write it in their row. So when B played A, they got 2 points. Okay, so we agree team A lost against B, but team B then beat team A, so they won. Now we look at team C. They played their first match against team A. So team C lost against team A, which means team A won against team C. So if we look at the row for team A, they won against C, but they lost against B. If we look at B, they've only played 1 match against A and they won. So now it all comes down to the final match. We've got team B playing, which one is open? Yes, playing team C. So they might win. We say they get 2 points. That means team C lost against B, so they get 0 points. So who actually won this tournament? Team A ended up with how many marks? Yes, with 2. Team B ended up with, yes, 4 marks. And unfortunately, Team C ended up with no marks. So the winner of this tournament will be B. So what's important, grade 6s? You look at the name, and you also have to look at the names on the top. And where they meet, where the same name meets, there will be no data. So all the data will be in a row, and on top will just show you where you must match that specific data. They start activity 3 with a statement. Dikeledi finds distances from Kimberley. Now I see that Kimberley is 1002 kilometers from Messina. Okay, and they ask you at number 1A, is he correct? So let's look on the table to find out if he is correct. So grade 6 here's the table, and he is speaking about Kimberley. So if we look at the distances involving Kimberley, we can put our ruler underneath that row. So here we have Kimberley, and we've got a lot of numbers. 177, 962, 811, 762, 472, 1002, and 827. We see here are some cities, but we also see the names of the same cities at the top of that table. So remember from our example, this shows Kimberley in relation to Bloemfontein, Kimberley in relation to Cape Town, Kimberley in relation to Durban, with George, Johannesburg, and here we go Kimberley, so it's the same place. You cannot measure distance there. Messina and Kimberley, and Mbombela and Kimberley. The Kaledi statement said that Kimberley and Messina is 1002 kilometers apart. Do we agree? Well, here's Kimberley, and when it meets up with Messina, that is what is given. So you have to decide, grade 6s, was he correct, yes or no? Then at number B, are the distances measured in kilometers? How do you know? So that's basically a yes-no answer, and you simply give your own reason as to why you say so. Number 2, name a place less than 200 kilometers from Bloemfontein. So grade 6s, put your ruler down underneath Bloemfontein and find a city that is less than 200 kilometers away. Number 3, which place shown is the furthest from Bloemfontein? So again, you stay with Bloemfontein and then you find which city is the furthest away. At number 2 and number 3, you can only write down the names of those cities. Number 4, why are some of the cells shaded and without numbers? Okay, so use your own words and try and explain why some of those cells are shaded. Number 5A, list the places that are the following distances from Johannesburg. So now you are focusing on Johannesburg. Which places are less than 1,000 kilometers away? And you simply write down the names. You can write semicolons in between the names. B, which places are between 1,000 and 2,000 kilometers from Johannesburg? And you again write the names. 6, which two towns are 1,319 kilometers apart? And you write down those two names. How much further is it from Mbombela, this is now number 7, which was previously known as Nelspruit, to Cape Town, than from Mbombela to George? So here, grade 6s, I would like a number sentence and then the answer. Number 8, how much further is it from Johannesburg to Durban than from Johannesburg to Mbombela? Again, number sentence and your answer. Number 9A, write the distance between Durban and Messina in meters. So remember, the distance is currently given in kilometers and you have to now convert it to meters. Write the distance between Johannesburg and Kimberley in meters. That's now number 9B. Grade 6s, you don't do number 10 or number 11. So after number 9B, you can simply draw a line and you are done with the exercise.